As Nancy said, that suspect, Mohamed Soliman, will be in court later this afternoon. And for more on the suspect now, let's bring in Robert Sherman, live outside the White House. Robert, DHS sources tell us this guy was in the U.S. illegally. We're also hearing some new statements from the Trump administration. What do they have to say?
Yeah, Brooke, just a short while ago, the president weighing in on the situation in Boulder, Colorado, putting part of the blame on his predecessor, President Biden, and vowing to crack down on immigration. Here's a statement that the president put out saying, quote, "Yesterday's horrific attack in Boulder, Colorado will not be tolerated in the United States of America. He came in through Biden's ridiculous open border policy, which has hurt our country so badly. He must go out under Trump policy. Acts of terrorism will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This is yet another example of why we must keep our borders secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland. My heart goes out to the victims of this terrible tragedy and the great people of Boulder, Colorado." And the White House was asked what message they have for Jewish Americans who feel unsafe right now in the United States. This is what White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said moments ago.
We have seen two horrific cases of anti-Semitic violence in our country in the last 2 weeks, and it is unacceptable to this president and this White House. And rest assured, to all Jewish Americans across our great country, this president has your back, and he's not going to allow anyone to take part in violent terrorism, it's acts of terrorism in our country.
DHS telling NewsNation that Soliman entered the U.S. through LAX airport in 2022 on a tourism visa, which he overstayed. At one point, applied for asylum, also applied for work authorization, initially denied, but then accepted. That authorization expired in March of this year, with his renewal still pending. We are anticipating to hear more from the FBI and Attorney General's office soon as they continue to monitor this situation and lead the federal response. Brooke.
Robert, we know the Trump administration has also been doing what it can to tamp down some of these anti-Semitic incidents we've been seeing, on college campuses, really across the U.S. You've been looking into some of the numbers. What do they show?
Yeah, I mean, you even heard from Karoline Leavitt just a moment ago talking about how this is something that the White House has been looking into here. You had that incident in Pennsylvania earlier this year with the Pennsylvania governor's mansion being set ablaze. You also had what happened just a couple weeks ago right here in Washington, D.C., with two staffers of the Israeli embassy being gunned down. You've seen these high-profile anti-Semitic incidents, and the numbers back up that you have seen a growing trend of this over the last decade. This study that was conducted by the Anti-Defamation League, I mean, you look at just the last 2 years, the way that the numbers have spiked. Over 10 years, you're looking at an 893% increase. That's according to the Anti-Defamation League. So something that the White House is certainly watching very closely here, and something that they've spoken about that they want to address promptly. Brooke.
Okay, Robert Sherman outside the White House. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.